Well, good morning, Waikiki. Today I am doing it again. I'm gonna go alone on a hike and we'll see what happens. I will take this moment with me forever. Absolutely no idea where this journey today will lead me, but I am trusting the process and trusting the guidance of my intuition, the lifestyle, and the wisdom of the place, travel wise, spiritually wise. I have to admit that I wanted to start early. It's now 8:30 a.m. and I woke up like 6:30. I was gonna head out much earlier. Always wanted to be like at the hike almost like at the sunrise time, but somehow I was procrastinating for a long time, like 2 hours, which makes me feel and think that there is still some resistance, still some fear around doing things on my own and hiking on my own as well. But we'll see what happens. I'm really excited to trying to break that trauma bond again. It's interesting how now that I think about it, I say that we never notice when our dreams come true. Like we desperately want something, and when it happens, then it just feels so normal and so like, you know, like something regular, like a regular day. But then when you pay close attention to what's going on, sometimes something small may actually be like the result of your long work or like long manifestation. It just depends like what effort you put into. Is it spiritual work? Is it financial? Is it, you know, it just depends on what you do. But myself, I noticed that yesterday I had this train thought and some ideas of things that I want to do, which actually then seemed surreal because I was like, wow, didn't I want it? And I know that it's not yet like happening true, you know, it's not like physically, not yet physically that I'm doing it, but the thing that I already planned to do that, it's amazing because about like, I don't know, a year ago, let's say, it was just like a dream that seemed unreal. But now, and then we have all this like, what I notice is that, and it's amazing, we have these dreams that we want to do, and then we have all these thoughts of how to do it. But then if you let go and, you know, let things just like unravel and, you know, give it time, you notice that like just how it happened to me. And sometimes those things, they happen, they manifest, but in a different way, not in a difficult way, actually even easier, even lighter. But as long as you have the capacity to let go of how you think should, you know, those things should happen. So okay, well, I guess I'll see you on the trail and I'll continue the thought. All right, now that I'm turning to the hillside, I think it should be something really, really pretty and interesting. Let's see. Wiliwilinui. Length 2 to 3 miles. That's the first stop. Basically just started like 5 minutes ago. And I think that's where I'm going. It's a little windy today. I'm still walking and thoughts are already coming my way, even though for some reason I feel extremely inwarded today. Didn't feel like talking at all, but now I think I noticed that how I'm experiencing this, like maybe you heard before, like a passenger consciousness, when I know it's me, I know it's I'm walking, it's I'm talking, but since I do things that used to freak me out, used to scare me so much, and they are considered this like out of the box experience for most people, but even for my own self. So as I do it, I noticed that when I did it last time, in the last episode, I think it was the Waihi trail. It was a lot of resistance and fearness, like a lot of fear in the body, that every now and then I would stop and my vision would make this like pictures in front of me, because I don't have like a perfect vision, but I would notice that I see things that are not there, like some ghosts or some animals or something, and I would be so afraid I would get stuck once in a while. But now I do it. I can't say that it's something that is like comfort zone for me. It's definitely not a comfort zone because it's also activity. I'm climbing and walking. But what it is definitely that I notice is that now my body, like I do it more willingly, because I know that's where my growth is. And maybe it's a metaphorical, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we do with our body what is going on within our minds. Almost like sometimes when we want to start the self-exploring journey, we like literally go to travels and we think that it's traveling that will help us, but it's only like the representation for actually the inward travel, this like travel and journey of self-discovery. So I know that in my life now I go beyond my comfort zone all the time, and so does my body want to do. It wants to, I just feel within my body that I want to do something that I've never done before, but always dreamed about. So now it's what I do, because I always wanted hiking a lot, and I wanted to do it alone, just because for me it's a great representation of this like journey of self-discovery, as I mentioned, exploring my limits, exploring the world, exploring my own self. Because when I'm alone, especially in mountains, especially in the Hawaiian mountains, I just connect to something amazing within me, and I know that only going on my own and only having the spaciousness to explore it, but also talk about it verbally, express it, only this way it can happen. So I try to do that sometimes, like when I'm with my partner, and it doesn't work as well because my partner just likes to blah 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 blah. He is here and also climbing and also hiking, right? But he talks about like stuff that is just like not in the present, and that is really not a grounded approach. not to life, not to hike, not to, especially not to the self-discovery process. So, but I was always afraid to do it alone due to my, oh my God, trauma limitations and trauma bonding. Oh my gosh, my cap almost flew away. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Okay. It's going to be noisy, so I will turn off the sound here now, probably. Never seen such slippery road. Ah, in my hair, my legs are keep on just like sliding away. I've never had that, no matter like where I travel. Like my legs are just. I mean, at the worst, I can just like fall down, but can get dirty, which is, I guess, not the worst thing. But I really hope they had like a rope in this area, because as it's raining, it's like very, very slippery. And yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. Whew. But I have just a little bit more, and I'm gonna be not all done, but at least I'm gonna climb up this hill. And look at that, people were sliding off. As I do that, like all of the thing that just comes up in my head is how, I don't know how about you, but I grew up in an extremely like neat Slavic home where all your mom and grandmom and everybody, all of the adults, all of the care for is like how things are clean. So they can sacrifice a lot, even adventures, so just so it's clean. And just as I climb, oh okay, it's raining again. Just as I climb up, all that comes up in my head is like, look at your shoes, look at your shoes, where have you been? And I like to break those limitations, because I like to be a little pig sometimes, you know, especially when you're hiking. There's no way you can get like, remain like clean completely. It's impossible, and it's part of the adventure, I guess. So I always just put up with this thoughts of like being clean, and I just like enjoy the process. Oh, some visitors. This is what it really means to be somewhere over the rainbow. Well, I think I'm always at the stairs of Wiliwilinui Trail, and it's still slippery, and I hope you enjoyed the rainbow. And I was extremely happy because it was like in that song, I actually was somewhere over the rainbow. Isn't that just very poetic? But I was actually like literally over the rainbow. And now, no more rainbows. Still some epic scenic views. Somehow I feel like very quiet today. Maybe it's not the time yet, but I never force things that come through me. They come through me on like its own terms, but nonetheless I want to show some amazing views, and as some messages would come through, I will definitely share them. But I think there is really some wisdom in that silence too, that sometimes, you know, what we really need, just look at that, not dirt, not that, but sometimes what we really need is to quiet our mind, quiet our thoughts, and trust that there is a wisdom in that as well. And I definitely trust that. I think sometimes being in the present, being present also, and just observing, look at that. Sometimes just observing can be, here too, can be just enough, because it's enough, and we are enough, and being in the present enough. I don't know, let this hike be a hike determined, not determined, I forgot the word, but let this be about detoxing and be in the present. Because I feel like I'm so deeply into my body. Oh my god, look at my shoes. So deeply into my body that it just feels quiet. And I'll go and I'll keep on enjoying it, and I'll keep on enjoying sleeping through the dirt. But it's all okay. I don't mind. At least it's fun. And yeah, I'll see. That's where I am. That's where the city is. Over there. And that's how I reached stairs. And actually, as I encounter people, there you go, the message for today. Always rely on your own intuition, your own guidance. Yes, sometimes it's good to listen to other people, to even listen to doctors, of course. But trust me, there were so many times in my life where if I were to listen to other people, I would definitely not be where I am in life. Like, not at all. Because people, they judge by some, how they perceive you. But how they perceive you might be absolutely wrong. So it's important for you to, because only you know yourself. Oh my god, I almost slipped. Only you know you. And even if you doubt yourself, then there is the potential only you can feel within your body, because only you can feel your own body, and only you can feel your potential of what you can and what you cannot do, especially if it requires some physical activity, some mental activity, because only you know if you can or you cannot. I will continue when I will climb these stairs. All right, here I come. I will of course put my phone down as it's extremely slippery, as you can see. So maybe not for the few steps, so you can see. Yeah, so you can see what I am going through. In a good way, in a good way. So let me catch my breath a little bit. What I was going to say before I started climbing stairs is that your physical, mental, and energetical capacity, only one person, no, only you, nobody else. There are mediums, like, for example, like me, when I work with people, that can access that for you, but it's what they're going to say, like, for example, what I'm going to say, things only about you. Pretty much only, only you can feel the potential within you. And only in case if you cannot feel it, then you need that support into accessing that information. But by any means, No any other person can tell that for you. Look at that. Why? Sorry, I need to catch my breath a little bit. Just let's observe a little bit. So why can't they? Well, tell me, what are they judging upon? Just looking at you? And just talking to you? But it could be them, not you, where the problem is. Maybe the way how they perceive you is not correct. So, examples. I used to hear from people who would project their limitations onto me, and I would trust them because I didn't know who I am. So one person told me, no way you can accomplish that distance of sport event, triathlon. And I was like, why not? Well, because you're not strong enough. Well, how do you know I'm not strong enough? Do you live within my body? Do you feel my strength? Do you know my training? Because I promise you, the visuals can be like, it's just a misconception. You can judge in the wrong way, you know? How do you judge? Okay, well, with the body, they probably think like, the bigger the muscle, the stronger you are. Okay, what about mental capacity? When someone tells you there is no way you can run a business, like no way. You're gonna flop it like in just a few days. How do you know? Well, because they're not strong enough. But how do you know that? What people would judge upon, same like you can, if you strictly rely on your mind information, people judge only by things they've seen you doing before. But what if you're about to do something you've never done before? Does that mean that it's impossible? No, it just means that you've never done this before. There are no data. But no data does not mean it's impossible. It just means that you've never done this before. There are no data. But when people tell you and decide for you, then if you trust them, something bad can happen. I mean, you can stay safe. And this is what I mean by bad. Because safety does not always mean like actual safety. Because I've been doing sport like crazy in the past. And one person, I will not tell you who, but that person constantly were nagging about how I am destroying myself. And that, at some point, I kind of trusted it. But let me flip the camera. Hi there. I think my glasses are a little dirty, but you can still see me, I think. Because the lens is clean. So I lost a thought, but that person was constantly telling me that I'm destroying myself by competing, by doing like long distances, by like doing all of the things that I did in sports. And so at one point I was like, what if that person is right? What if I am damaging myself? What if I need to stop? And I stopped. I stopped doing like extreme sports. I stopped running altogether. I stopped lifting weights. I stopped doing gymnastics. I stopped doing everything, and all I did was like this Pilates for old people. No judgment to old people, but I am young, and strong, and so it was not. It was not something that would give me like physical what's that word, like challenge, something that didn't challenge me and my muscles. And for me, for a person who used to like do international triathlons, I did once, but the thing is that I did it once, but I was preparing every day and I did those distances all the time, not fully of course, but still. So you tell me, did that person do something good to me? Because I listened and I trusted that this was correct to me, and I stopped. And then who was the fault then? who do I blame for that? And in the end, there's like no one to blame. It's always on you, because even giving your power away, that decision, I did that myself. In the end, there will be no one to blame, only yourself. But it's not about blame. It's about this like loss of health, loss of time, loss of confidence. Because I turned into one of one of, not the strongest, I was gonna go too far with that, but I turned into a very, very strong person, into a person who's afraid to go to the store. Like, what if I go, what if I fell? What if I get sick? What if I get a little wet? What if I die? Like, it was constantly this like fear projections. So that person told me who I am. Is that good? I don't think it is, because people project things onto you. They project their weak parts onto you, their fears onto you. Sometimes they project good things onto you, but not all the time. Look at that. Sometimes they project not good things onto you. So why listen to them? And that's how we give our power away. When we listen to other people too much, then of course it's good to hear for an advice, especially from some professionals. But what I'm talking about is that I just saw two people were walking behind me the entire trail, and then they met somebody else they don't know, but that person immediately started telling them, do not go further, it's too slippery, it's too dangerous, but you were just there. And she was like, oh yeah, but see, I fell, don't go there. And can you believe that? Those people she told that to, they actually considered to go back. They listened to another person's opinion about them. How does she know if they're willing to do it or not? If they're strong or not? This is unacceptable. But this can only happen when we, like, I don't know if you believe in chakras, like if you understand them, but sometimes I rely on them just because I recently really digged into that information. But it's to believe that we have this like crown chakra that is responsible for our intuition, our connection to source. So let's imagine you, and it's unique to everyone. So let's imagine you take that out and you put somebody else there. So from that day on, there will be another person who will replace God to you, who will replace your intuition to you, who will replace your higher self for you. Is that good? No, that's not good. Only you can feel that power within you. Only you know your way. Only you know what you're capable of. Even if you don't know, if you have no idea, then you can feel that most likely. You can feel it, that so there's tiny voice telling you, try it. You can do it, try it. It's okay. You don't trust this voice, and it's okay. Like, that happens to me too. I mean, it's not that it's okay, but things are the way they are. But you can definitely change that. And if you cannot change that yourself, there are mediums that can activate that to you. And they're not going to put their stuff inside of your head. They're going to activate and open up what's within you. And that is hidden within your consciousness. But by any means, and that's, I guess, the wisdom for today, never, of course, listen to like professionals, to, I don't know, sometimes we must, but even I have an example where I listen to doctors too much, and they almost like treated me until I don't want to even say that out loud, but if not for my trusting my own self and my intuition, it would turn out not the best to me. But that's why this is where the guidance of trusting your own self, trusting your own God. There is a God within you, and you need to learn to listen to it. It's within you, and you can only rely on that God within you. So I'm gonna keep on climbing forward or upward. So there are the views, and hopefully something else will drop to me as I'm climbing here, but I have to be a little bit careful as it's a little bit slippery, and it's true. So digest the information that I just shared. I think it's really important.